All right, let's get right into it. If you're working with industrial fluids, you know that the 200-liter drum is basically the backbone of your operation. But here's the thing. Managing it comes with some serious hidden risks, the kind that can bring everything to a screeching halt. Today, we're going to break down a really smart solution to what can be a very, very expensive problem. So I want you to just think about this for a second. What is the real cost when a drum runs empty? It's not just about buying a new barrel of oil. Nope. The real cost is everything that happens in that split second when you unexpectedly run dry. And believe me, it is way higher than you think. Because here's the chain reaction. When that drum runs empty, everything just stops. First, you're slammed with operational downtime. And that's just money pouring down the drain. But it gets worse. Your pump starts sucking in air, which leads to something called cavitation. And that can cause permanent, irreversible damage. Then that air gets into your distribution lines, and you're risking contaminating the entire system. This isn't just a little headache, it's a full-blown operational crisis. And this all leads us to the heart of the matter, the empty drum problem. You know, for years, people have tried to get around this, but the old ways of checking levels, they just don't work anymore. In fact, they often end up making things a whole lot worse. Just look at this comparison. What's the traditional method? A dipstick. You pop open the bung, you stick something in, and what happens? You've just introduced dirt, dust, and moisture directly into your perfectly clean fluid. I mean, that's rule number one of lubrication reliability. Keep contaminants out. On top of that, it's a total guess, and it's completely reactive. You only find out you're low when you happen to check. The modern way, though, is the total opposite. It's proactive, it's precise, and because it's completely sealed, it means zero contact and zero contamination. So what is this modern contamination-free solution we're talking about? Well, let's introduce the star of the show. It's the Lubretec DigOLevel S200L, and it's designed from the ground up to solve every single one of those problems we just talked about. And here it is. This little device is engineered to give you a super accurate, at-a-glance level reading without ever touching the fluid inside. It's really a fundamental shift from guessing to knowing. So how does it pull this off? Now, this isn't some kind of magic trick. It's actually just really, really clever engineering. Let's peel back the layers and go inside the ultrasound technology to see exactly how it works its magic without any physical contact. Okay, the technology at its core is called ultrasonic level detection, and the concept is brilliant because it's so simple. The device basically sends out sound waves, kind of like a bat, and then it measures how long it takes for those waves to bounce off the surface of the liquid and come back. And because nothing ever physically goes into the drum, your fluid stays 100% sealed and pure. Let's break it down into 3 super simple steps. 1. The sensor sends out harmless little ultrasound waves down into the drum. 2. It measures the time, down to a fraction of a second that it takes for those waves to hit the liquid and bounce back. And 3. A smart little algorithm inside does the math for you, instantly turning that time and distance into an exact volume in liters. It's simple, it's fast, and it is incredibly accurate. So if you look at the device itself, you can see how it's all built for purpose. Down at the bottom, that's the ultrasound detector. That's the part doing all the work. It's got a standard 3/4-inch thread, which means it screws right into pretty much any standard 200-liter drum. And of course, you've got that big, clear digital display giving you the info you need right when you need it. But look, just knowing the level is only half the battle. The real game changer here is how the device uses that information. And that brings us to its best feature, the proactive alarm system. This is what makes sure you are never, ever caught by surprise again. All you do is press a button and boom, you get an instant reading. If the drum is mostly full, anything above 145 liters, it just tells you full. Nice and simple. But once you're below that, between 145 and 20 liters, it shows you the exact volume. It is crystal clear and takes all the guesswork out of the process. But here's where it gets really smart. The system doesn't just measure, it warns you. And it doesn't just give you one warning. It has two separate proactive alarm levels. It's a structured system designed to keep you ahead of the problem. This table lays it all out. The first alarm goes off when you're down to between 20 and 10 liters. The display starts flashing. Think of this as your gentle nudge, your heads up. It's saying, hey, it's time to order a new drum. No panic, just planning. But then, the second alarm triggers when you dip below 10 liters. Now this is the urgent warning. This is the system telling you, okay, you need to take action right now to avoid shutting down and wrecking that pump. So at this point, you might be thinking, okay, this sounds incredible, but it's got to be complicated to install or maintain, right? Well, not even close. Let's take a look at just how ridiculously easy this setup and care actually are. Seriously, it is this simple. It is literally a two-step process. Step 1, you unscrew the 3/4-inch bung cap that's already on your drum. Step 2, you screw the DigOLevel S200L into that same spot. That's it. You're done. You can have this thing up and running in less than a minute. And maintaining it is just as easy. It runs on 2 standard AAA batteries you can get anywhere. It even tells you when the batteries are getting low by flashing 4 little dots on the screen. The only other things to remember are common sense. Keep it on a stable barrel, out of direct sunlight, and remember, it's not for use with flammable liquids. Easy. You know, this quote here really just ties it all together perfectly. It calls the DigOLevel S200L the ideal solution because it nails all the critical points. It's compliant with lubrication reliability standards, it totally avoids contamination because there's no contact, and it's both reliable and accurate. That's the whole package right there. So we'll end with a question for you to really think about. Take a good, honest look at your own operations. Is your current way of managing fluids proactive, or is it reactive? Are you preventing problems before they can even start, or are you just running around putting out fires after they happen? The difference between those two approaches could be the difference between a smooth running operation and a very, very costly shutdown.